What is up, guys? Brad Mill here, bringing you guys another Pokemon ORAS OBA Week 11 Wi-Fi battle, going against the South Carolina Sceptiles. Adam. Before the video starts, please drop a like down below, and if you are new, hit that subscribe button down below as well. Really supports the channel and helps me out as a content creator as well. Just gonna say something before I actually enter this match. This is probably one of the most haxiest and probably one of the most crucial haxiest matches I've ever had. Going against the South Carolina Sceptiles. My team is a little bit. A lot of people are actually probably wondering why I'm actually running the team I am. Opponent had a very good roster. I knew he was going to be bringing the Mega Gyarados, the Porygon. Also predicted him to bring the Lantern because it's hard counters Jolteon, being the reason why I did not bring Jolteon this week. I actually also predicted him to bring the Entei as well, just because it really counters Scissor, and it hits very hard if it's banded, which I'm predicting he would be bringing banded, and the way it looked, he actually was banded. Also predicted him to bring Drapion to counter my Sylveon. He was either Drapion or Jirachi to bring that. I actually predicted him to bring Jirachi, but he's actually going to be bringing the Drapion. Maybe just because he has a little bit better move pool, not quite sure. Maybe something special planned, but predicting him to bring a certain couple mons. No way he was bringing Sceptile. No way he was bringing Rodemo. No way he was bringing Hitmonchan as well, because Sylveon's there. But getting into this, haven't really been having the best of days. Dealing with a lot of shit IRL. So wasn't really going into this in the highest of moods, as you guys can tell probably. But bringing Sylveon with the Babbery Berry, just because I thought he was going to be bringing the Jirachi, and if he was actually Trace Scarf Jirachi, Iron Head does 70 to 75%, and with the Babbery Berry it only does around about 30 to 35%, so that's why I needed that. And I can hit back really hard with the Shadow Ball, running the Hyper Voice, Shadow Ball, Hidden Power Ground for Entei, otherwise I get walled by it, and the Protect, just to scout on most things. Also running Quiet Nature, Max Special Attack, Max HP. Bringing Typhlosion this week. Typhlosion I could see putting in some work. He has not really too much that wants to deal with it. Being the only thing that really wants to deal with it is Porygon. And maybe Mega Gyarados, but Mega Gyarados ain't taking 2 Focus Blast. So, bringing the Focus Sash actually this week. I actually think I was going to be bringing Scarf Typhlosion if I did bring it. Not going to be the case. I'm bringing Focus Sash. Really didn't see him have the possibility of setting up rocks. If he wanted to run a offensive Jirachi, which I predicted him to run, really wouldn't be setting up rocks. And if he wanted to bring the Gliscor, he could bring it, which he actually did. But really didn't think he was going to be bringing the Gliscor either, just because Jolteon, Hidden Power Ice, and Ice Stab as well. Bringing the Typhlosion with the Eruption, Flamethrower, Hidden Power Grass, just to hit some things very hard, and the Focus Blast, which hits Porygon decently hard, and 2 shots Gyarados. One shots the Heliolisk along with Flamethrower. Basically, one shots that. That it does decent amount. Focus Blast does decent amount to the Entei if I do come into that position. Bringing the Feraligatr. Feraligatr this week, I really built this team around Feraligatr because Feraligatr has so much potential in this match to sweep. Running the moveset, which could be a little bit questionable, but it had 4 move syndrome this week. I wanted to run certain things, but overall, I came down to the conclusion to run Dragon Dance, Ice Punch, Waterfall, and the Earthquake. No Aqua Jet, which I was really debating. Just in case I come against the Entei, and I'm at +1, I'd be able to outspeed it with the Aqua Jet, with the extreme speed as well. So if I'd be at higher speed, I'd still be able to outspeed that. That if I come in contact with something that's low HP, I'd come in, pick it off with the Aqua Jet. But I had to run the Waterfall, the Earthquake, or the Ice Punch, because if I take one of those moves out, then I get walled by a certain mod. For example, if I take Earthquake off, I get completely walled by the Drapion and the Heliolisk. So, and if I actually took the Earthquake off, I would get completely walled by the Lantern. So that's the reason why I have those moves the way it is. One Dragon Dance completely would have swept his team. Unless he was running a Choice Scarf or a Focus Sash user, which I really don't think he was in this match. Earthquake, 2 shots Gyarados, not even at +1, believe it or not. Then I have some decent bulk. I can eat up a few hits if I needed to. Running Life Orb, Sheer Force as well. Jolly Nature to get as most outspeeds I can. Max attack, max speed with that moveset. Very, very high potential for Alligator this week. That's why I really did build this team around for Alligator as well. Bringing the Mandibuzz, especially defensive, could be a little bit questionable, but mostly to counter Gyarados, because Gyarados, even with the Ice Fang, it doesn't do too much at +1. Believe it or not, Waterfall actually does more than Ice Fang at +1. So that it decently walls Gliscor. Gliscor can't really do too much except knock off to me, I guess. Bringing the Defog, the Flatter, just to force switch-ins and switch-outs. Raise special attack on physical attackers, get them confused, put some pressure on. The Air Slash and the Tailwind. Tailwind being one of the most important moves because it lets me get the Tailwind up, and if I need to possibly switch out, I can have Sylveon take a little bit of a hit, come in, and the Tailwind's up, so I'll be able to outspeed anything that's even faster than me. Example, maybe the Drapion. Hyper Voice pretty much one-shots the Drapion if it's not special defensive, so that'd be one of the situations that I really wanted as well. Along with Typhlosion coming in, since it's not Scarfed, it'd be able to outspeed a lot more things, get some decent damage off. With the Feraligatr as well, didn't have to have a Dragon Dance up. If I needed to come in, pick something off, I could with the Tailwind being up. So Tailwind, very good move. No recovery on either of my walls this week though, which could be a little bit of something that was a little bit needed, but I think we got around it. Could have got around it. Bringing the Scissor this week, I'm running a little bit different moveset. Running the Sword Stance, Knockoff, Bullet Punch, and X-Scissor. Knockoff mainly for the Porygon 2, to get you on a switch in, knock off the Eviolite, and then X-Scissor actually will kill from that range. Sword Stance just to set up at +2, particular switch out, or something that can't really do too much to me. Example, maybe, I guess Gliscor can't really do too much to me unless it's carrying Fire Punch or Fire Fang. Porygon really can't do too much to me either. Even though I'm not special defensive, I won't be taking hits very well, but I can set up a Sword Stance on it. It could Thunder Wave me, it could, but really wasn't going to be doing too much to me as well. And it really shuts down Mega Gyarados as well, even though I do not outspeed, but if I do get a Tailwind up, I will be able to outspeed that thing, so something crucial there. Also got the Bullet Punch for a very, very good high priority move with good damage. X-Scissor for the Mega Gyarados, hits very, very hard. What else? Knockoff item on a switch in. Bringing the Meowstic this week. Meowstic, last week it went down, maybe just because my opponent was sitting up on me. Couldn't really do too much about that. Gave it another chance this week. Really thought it had a lot of potential. Running dual screens, the Reflect Light Screen with the Light Clay, max defense, max special defensive Meowstic. I think it's Bold Nature. Running the Heal Bell as well, just in case he wanted to bring Lantern in. If I get Thunder Wave, I get burned. I could always Heal Bell it off, so I really wouldn't have to sack off anything that got burned or Thunder Waved. That's why I'm running Heal Bell, and I'm actually running Toxic. So any Taunter, example the Drapion, if he had Taunt, would have completely shut me down. Even though a Knockoff pretty much one-shots without Reflect up, so bringing the Toxic as well, just for the Porygon 2 mainly, and mainly to stall things out. If you went into Gliscor predicting Toxic, so be it, but do apologize for the big intro, but wanted to really get through this team. No Jolteon this week, just for the hard fact that most kind of Gliscor, and mainly the Lantern really hard-walled it. That's the reason why I did not bring it, but looking at the team he would have brought here, I probably actually would have had some very, very big fun with Jolteon in this match. Gonna get into this, probably one of the hackiest matches I've had in a super, super long time. He's going to lead with his, and to actually picked him lead with his Drapion, or his, Drapion, or it was his Gliscor, so I'm gonna lead with my Sylveon here. Gonna go in here. I really did not know what this thing had for me. I knew it could maybe for the Sacred Fire or the Flare Blitz, which I did predict. Gonna protect. He is going for the Iron Head. He actually predicts a switch out here. I'm not quite sure what he's predicted to switch into. He's gonna go into Gliscor. I'm gonna switch out here actually into Mandibuzz. The best thing that I can actually take something from this. So going to switch out. Or not Mandibuzz, for Alligator, if he was choice banded like I predicted, which I'm assuming he's banded because he knew I was going to switch there. I'm going to go to for Alligator here. Right here I knew the Mega Gyarados was coming in to get the Timidate off. Really did not want to bother setting up. I could went for the Earthquake here, Wouldn't have did too much at -1 though, and he probably would have did more to me in return. However, even if he has at +2, Waterfall still does not one-shot me at +2. Earthquake at +1, it still doesn't one-shot me either, but at +2 it does. So he's gonna make evolve here. Nothing I can really do about that. Gonna go into Mandibuzz, which is basically the best thing I have for this. He's gonna break the molds. Doesn't matter. He's gonna go for the Dragon Dance, which I predicted. Mega Gyarados, very, very big threat. If we would have Jolteon, this thing would have been easily dealt with, but I did not bring Jolteon this week because the Lantern hard walls it. But going for the Flatter here. Very, very bad hacks, or very, very unlucky on our side as well. We got super unlucky with the Confusion hacks in this match. I'm going to go into Scissor here, just because I wanted him to hit himself in Confusion. Took that 50% chance. Nothing I can really do at this point except go out to the Scissor. He's going to go for the Ice Fang, which is decent, because 4 times resisted. But he is going to Mega Evolve here, or I'm going to Mega Evolve. I'm just going to go in here. I really thought he was going to go into the Porygon here, but I took the 100% read and went for the X Scissor here. Somehow he snaps out Confusion on the second turn. I was like, holy shit, we were getting so unlucky with the Confusions. Even from this range, though, we can still live a Waterfall, even at +1. And what do? We get flinched. So that basically means our Scissor is useless now. We have to let it go down. I have no switch in for this. Could have went for the Bullet Punch, but it was at that point it really wasn't worth it because he could have set up another Dragon Dance and proceeded to even sweep my team more. So had to go for the X Scissor no matter what, even without getting damage off. Now I'm forced to go out into my Typhlosion here because I have nothing else that wants to deal with this thing. I am Focus Sash, so I'm forced to use my Sash here. I'm going to go for the Focus Blast. We do manage to land it. It does over half. However, it's a 2-hit KO and he outspeeds me. So even if I was Choice Scarf, I don't think I would outspeed the thing if he was Jolly. But I'm going to let Typhlosion go down here. I have no switch in again. So we lost 2 Mons to this Mega Gyarados so far. I'm going to go into the Mandibuzz here. I'm not shit, I can't talk. I am not defensive. I am special defensive Mandibuzz. We barely live this. I did calculate. We barely live. Does around about 80% or so. I'm going to go for the Flatter again, hoping to get some Confusion hacks here. This is basically my last-ditch effort for this Mega Gyarados to not sweep us. He needs to at least hit himself in Confusion here at least twice, so we can at least get back into this match. Very, very unlucky on our side as well right now. I'm going to stay in here, go for the Air Slash to get some damage on this thing. I have no switch in for this. He doesn't hit himself again. We get unlucky again, and he actually gets the Waterfall. At this point, it's getting to be a Mega Gyarados sweep, so I have nothing really for this thing. My dedicated really things for it went down. At this point, I have Meowstic, Feraligatr, and Sylveon left. Forced to go into Sylveon here. I cannot let Feraligatr go down too early because it has so much potential actually sweeping his team still. If I could get the screens up. What do? We get critted by Waterfall right here. So basically, if it was not a crit, it only did around about 75 to around about 85% max, even at +1. The crit definitely mattered. That very, very shattered my Sylveon right there. Mattered super, super much. And we're going to go into Feraligatr here. Earthquake would have only did around about 70 to around about 80%. What do? We get critted again, guys. I don't know. At this point, I'm basically at a loss. There's nothing I can do. At this point, he knows, once he knows my full moveset, he can go to Drapion and completely wall me because I have Toxic, Light Screen, Reflect, and Heal Bell. I can't touch it. We got so unlucky in this match. I'm going to go for the Toxic here. It doesn't really matter if I'm even going to take this thing out because hacks completely screwed us over in this match. I don't know how many times we went for Confusion hacks as well. We never got it confused once in this match, which is kind of unlucky. You can't really expect hacks like that, but back-to-back crits. I'm at a loss of words, guys. At this point, he knows my full moveset now. He goes out right out into Drapion to get the kill, which I don't blame him. I would do the same thing. Gonna step the Light Screen, and it doesn't matter whatsoever because I'm dead at this point. Mega Gyarados basically swept my team due to hacks at this point, basically. Knockoff gonna come through, kill me at that range. Reflect doesn't matter. And Meowstic is gone, and we actually get sweeped by Mega Gyarados due to hacks. This actually would have not been a sweep. The 2 crits very, very mattered. My Feraligatr would have lived and retaliated with Earthquake, took that thing out. My Feraligatr would have been kept around. I could have used my Sylveon and my Feraligatr to switch between back and forth. Had my Meowstic around, set both screens. Could have went out with my Feraligatr. Possibly set up a Dragon Dance, and I have my screens up for the Sylveon, which hits super hard. Could Could have possibly took out a few more Mons. I'm not quite sure if we would have swept at that point, but definitely could have made the differential a little bit lower. But hacks came through in this match. Like I said, guys, this is probably one of the most hacksiest matches in the OBA I've had. Got the flinch on the Scissor. We got double back-to-back crit on the Sylveon and for Alligator, which were my 2 win conditions. Endless snapping out confusion, no confusion hacks whatsoever. I don't know what to tell you guys. There's nothing I could really do in this match. I prepared very, very well, in my opinion. It was really just the hacks that came down to actually debating this match. But at this point, it's actually go for broke now. So if we don't win next week, we're out, not even going to playoffs at this point. We have to at least get a decent differential next week as well. We have to at least get more than a 1-0 differential next week, which the Roaring Shadow are number 2 on the overall league standings. So I'm not quite sure how that's gonna go. But I don't think that Mega Steelix. They got they had the Slowbro. They had Mega Steelix. They have Darmanitan. They have a complete array of threats for me to prepare for. But that being said, though, hopefully you guys did enjoy this. Your Grassy Plains Raikous are now 6. I think it's 6-5, 6-4 and 6-5 now. Again, I can't really do too much in this match. We got back-to-back critted. We got the flinch on the Scissor. Endless breaking out of confusion, no confusion hacks. Which I'm not really going to complain about the confusion hacks because you can't really rely on confusion. It's only 50% chance, so 50%. Can't really rely on that too much, but he should at least hit himself once in confusion, in my opinion. At least once would have been a game changer, probably. But we're actually going to get 6-0'd. Basically swept by Mega Gyarados due to hacks. Nothing I can do, guys. Nothing I can really do in this match. I do apologize, but there was nothing I can do. Back-to-back crits. Win condition was the for Alligator. Maybe if I would have took out the Gyarados, the only thing that really could wall me would be the Porygon, which Sylveon is there to handle. And I had the Meowstic around with these screens, so I could step screens, get a Toxic off on the Porygon, try stalling it out with Sylveon with a Protect in a little bit. Hyper Voice would still do around about 30 to 35% of that thing, even if it is mixed defense, even if it's invested in defense and special defense. So could eventually stall that thing out, and I can bring him in for Alligator. Possibly set up a Dragon Dance. I still probably could have swept because at +1 I outspeed the Helioptile with, or not the Heliolisk, if it's not Focus Sash being so. Could have had all the time in the world to actually win this match, but got screwed over. Do apologize, guys, but that being said, though, hopefully you guys did enjoy this. Gonna be going in next week, make it or break it. So I'm just gonna throw some LOL team together, basically. Hopefully it works. I don't know. Really not doing anything wrong with team building in this match. It took around about 3 days to build this whole team. So maybe if I would have brought the Jolteon, I would have been a lot better. But even I think at +1, the Mega Gyarados would probably outspeed if he was Jolly. So I'm not quite sure. I'd have to calc it. I'm not quite 100% sure on that. But other than that, though, we're gonna go against the Roaring Shadow next week. I think that should change their name too. I think it's I'm not quite sure, but the Roaring Shadow, Aaron Chem, gonna be one hell of a match. Definitely gonna be a make it or break it match at this point, because if we don't win next week with a 1 or a 2 or better differential, we're out for the rest of the playoffs. So coming down to the last moments here, guys. Gonna get out here. See you guys next week. Peace.